All right. Hi, everybody. So now we're at the fun stuff, the optimization impact calculator. This is where we get to see the positive financial benefit that conversion optimization can deliver to your bottom line. This calculator is quite different from what you're probably used to, because what we've done here with the magic of Looker Studio is we have piped in and connected your historical Google Analytics data so that when you are choosing values to input into the calculator, they're highly relevant. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So why don't we just hop right into it here? If we come down here to step one, the first thing we're going to want to do is select a Google Analytics Universal Analytics. That's very key. It's the Universal Analytics view that contains your e-commerce reporting results. Now we're using Universal Analytics as opposed to Google Analytics 4, GA4, because the fact of the matter is that if we look at a broad swath of all the direct-to-consumer e-commerce brands, reality is most of them didn't install Google Analytics 4 until fairly recently. So as a result, if you didn't install it 12 months ago, you're not going to have historical results. And that's what the power of this calculator comes into, is looking back at the historical results so that you can forecast what is likely to happen in the future based on your business model and your forward-looking strategy. So what I've done here is selected the Google Merchandise Shop. Just go in there and select, and that's for demo purposes, just select the Google Analytics UA view that you most commonly referenced. Now, the second thing is you're going to see when you do that is that this chart, this trend line here, is going to populate. And you're also going to have a monthly average right here over to the right. So the way I would use this chart, I'm going to present two different scenarios. The first one is, let's just say that I run a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand. I've been around for 20 years, all right, for a long time. And everything's just rolling along. I don't have any big plans to grow session volume on my site. I'm not going to increase traffic volume, traffic investment. Everything's just going to be rolling along like normal. And I don't anticipate any big changes over the next 12 months. In that case, I would just come up here and I would enter 78,000 because the monthly average, as you saw, it was just a little bit over 78,000. Now, however, looking at it from the another viewpoint, let's assume that we've been in business for X amount of time, but I anticipate an increase in monthly website visits or sessions. Let's just say that deciding to start investing some more money into traffic with the objective of growing monthly sessions to 100,000. In that case, if you thought that and you anticipated and you forecasted that the future monthly sessions would be 100,000, I would put that in there. And this will, again, allow the result to be very relevant based on what you see in terms of results moving forward. So in order to keep everything just using round numbers, I'm going to use 100,000 monthly website visits for this example. Now, the second or the third step, step 3, based on your historical e-commerce conversion rate, that's an acronym for conversion rate, enter your estimated future e-commerce conversion rate. So in this case, typically what I would do if there weren't any anomalies over the last 12 months, and I'm looking to see what an increased conversion rate would deliver in terms of an uplift, I'm just going to keep it essentially the same as it has been over the last 12 months. If there was some good reason to increase it or decrease it based on history, you might want to adjust it. But in this case, I'm just going to say, hey, this is where we've been over the last 12 months. I want to measure what an improvement would deliver to the bottom line. So in this case, I'm just going to, again, use round numbers, and I'm going to enter 2%. Step 4, based on your historical average order value below, enter your estimated future average order value. So again, look at this trend line, look at the monthly average, and make a decision. If you're changing, if you're keeping everything the same, if nothing's changing specific to your product line, your pricing, I would just input 115. Now, and that's the way I'm going to run this calculation. However, if you're increasing pricing, if you're decreasing pricing, if you're bringing in new product lines, whatever it is, adjust for that with this average order value. Whatever you think it's going to be moving forward, just enter that value. So again, I put in 115. Now step 5, now that you've entered the values above, you can adjust the optimized e-commerce conversion rate slider below to analyze the effect on your transactions and revenue. So you're going to notice that it just comes in out of the box at 4%. That's just an arbitrary number. You can adjust it upwards or downwards in increments of 0.25%. So let's just say that, to be reasonable here, let's just say that in this example, you were to increase conversion rate from 2% to 3%. This is just a hypothetical number. In that case, based on your sessions and your average order value, the positive financial impact would be $115,000 on a monthly basis and just under $1.4 million on an annual basis, with the corresponding increase in transactions. That's at 3%. Okay, so clearly a massive lift in terms of transactions and revenue. And that's a 50% increase in conversion rate. So let's just back it down a little bit and say, hey, we just brought it from 2 to 2.5. Even at a 0.5% bump or 0.25% or 25% increase over the present of 2%, you're going to be close to $60,000 a month increase in monthly revenue, or just under $700,000 a year. Again, just going down to 2.25%. It just allows you the flexibility to gauge and to view and see the power of conversion rate optimization, the effect on your bottom line. Now, one thing I do want to just to show you here is if we're at 2% for the optimized conversion rate and we're comparing it against 2% up top, you're going to notice that the values are 0. It just evens out because nothing is changing in terms of your conversion rate. And the color is orange. Now, if we were to go into the negative and see, okay, 1 3/4, this is a great way to look at what happens to your to your revenue if your conversion rate dips over where it is currently, all other things being equal. That would, what we're seeing here in red is that you're going to be losing close to $30,000 a month or $350,000 a year. If it goes down even more to 1.5, it works both ways, your conversion rate. So this just underscores the main point that conversion rate is incredibly important to keep an eye on, and it shows you the benefit. So let's just leave it on a positive note. Let's just say that we brought it up to 2.5% in this example, and we're looking at a very nice pickup. So that's the overview on the calculator. I hope this is very helpful to you, and that it brings in so just some relevant real life numbers, eliminates all the guessing, and allows you to see for yourself what your efforts can result in. So thanks very much. If you have any questions on that, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Scott at ecommerceoptimizers.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.